Okay, so we're beginning Tuesday now of week 12 DGP. Again, like always, guys, you should have tried this on your own and be seeing how you did. Notice if you made mistakes. This is a difficult sentence this week, so it's good practice to do it on your own. First thing, just like always, is to look for the simple subject, and it's the who or what does the verb. We know we had 3 verbs. We had wrote, got, and was sleeping. So, who wrote the book, Stuart Little? This is where it gets really, really hard, because it sounds like E.B. White did. But what E.B. White did was got the idea for the book. Who wrote the book was who. This is a simple subject. Okay? I'm going to call it number 2 because actually, since I said who got the idea was E.B. White, this is subject number 1. Okay? So it's going to go with this verb when I label it. This one goes with this verb. If you missed getting this as a subject, don't feel bad. It's really difficult. But who is almost always a subject. Well, when it's used this way. Actually, I think almost always. Alright, so my other verb was sleeping. Who was sleeping on a train? He was. So that is my 3rd subject. The only reason I numbered them is so you can keep it straight when you go to diagram and stuff, which ones go with which. Makes it easier. Alright, so now, we've got 3 subjects. We don't have an understood you. We've got this. We're good. Simple predicates now. We already know them. We just have to decide if they take a direct object or if they don't. So, wrote. Did he write something? Yes, he wrote the book. So that is a verb transitive. And I'm going to call it number 2 since it goes with who. E.B. White got, and he got what? The idea. So that's also a verb transitive because it's done to something. It's number 1 because it goes with E.B. White. Okay, so was sleeping. Remember, we only label the main one. Was sleeping. Can you sleep something? Not so much. So this is verb intransitive, and it gets a 3 because it goes with the 3rd subject. Okay, remember, transitive verbs can be done to something. Intransitive verbs are not done to anything. They're just done. Okay, so we've got our simple predicates done. We need to do our prepositional phrases. Easy, we already labeled. It's for the book. So this is my, let's see. Prepositional phrases, we have to label our OPs. And we have to label what kind of prepositional phrase it is. So this is my OP for the book. What does that describe? Describes the idea, doesn't it? So it is an adjective prep phrase. Because it's which idea we're talking about, right? Okay. The other one, look up here for prepositions. I had for and I had on. On a train, that's my OP. He was sleeping where? On a train. It answers where. That makes it an adverb prep phrase because it's answering an adverb question. Okay, I don't think we had any other prepositions on Monday. We did not, so we have to be done with our prepositions. So then we go on to complements. Direct object is a noun or pronoun that's not in a prepositional phrase. Follows an action verb. We had 2 of those. And to find it, you say subject verb plus what? So, E.B. White got, or sorry, down here. E.B. White got what? The idea. That's a direct object. Who wrote what? The book. That, well, yeah, book is the direct object. Sorry, I guess I should have put this is number 2 and this is this is number 2 and this is number 1. See, even I get confused. I know it's hard to imagine I made a mistake. But so this direct object goes with this verb, so I give it a 2 just to keep it clear. This direct object goes with this verb. We can't have a direct object for was sleeping because it's intransitive. Also, there are no words after it. So then we look for indirect objects. They come between the subject and the verb, and to find it, you say subject, verb, direct object, to whom or for whom. So E.B. White got the idea for whom? Nobody, so there's not an indirect object. Who wrote the book for whom? It would have to be here. There isn't an answer. There is no indirect object, which is fine. Then we get down to predicate nominatives. It's a noun or a pronoun that follows a linking verb and renames the subject. We don't have anything that follows a linking verb that is not in the prepositional phrase already, so we do not have a predicate nominative or a predicate adjective because they're already in the prepositional phrase. So we go on to appositives. It's a noun or a phrase that follows and renames another noun or pronoun, just like my son Dave. My son and Dave are the same person, although my son is named Quinn. Okay. So, an appositive, is there anything in here where they immediately renamed it? What book did E.B. White write? He wrote the book Stuart Little. So this is in a positive. And both of these words get treated like one name. So there's a lot of things that are new in this sentence. Don't feel bad if you missed it. But make sure you're paying attention to it. Okay. We don't have any positive phrases. Nouns of direct address. No one is being spoken directly to in this sentence. I'm going to skip that. So we go back to our complete subject. It's the simple subject of the main sentence plus all its modifiers. So who wrote the book Stuart Little does not make sense by itself, unless it's a question. E.B. White got the idea for the book does. While he was sleeping on a train does not make sense by itself. So E.B. White got the idea for the book is the main sentence. So this is a subject part. Who wrote the book Stuart Little? Doesn't this entire clause describe E.B. White? It does. So this entire clause gets underlined once with E.B. White. Because when we diagram, it's going to describe E.B. White. So then we've got our verb, got. What did you get? He got the idea for the book. So those are all going to be twice. And then you've got your other clause here, while he was sleeping on a train. Doesn't that tell us when he got the idea? It does. So this entire clause, even though it's got a subject in it, is describing when he got the idea. So you have E.B. White, who wrote the book Stuart Little, underlined once, everything else twice. Okay? We just did the simple or the complete predicate too. I do those all at once because it just makes sense. And then you can see we're ready for Wednesday. Keep this in mind when you go to do Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. There are 3 clauses in this sentence, and we need to remember that.